Hello, this is Mad Cat, and it's not an easy thing for me to talk about. Sorry. That disrupts the video. So first, I apologize. Me and Modern Medusa were supposed to do a show today, but the recent news that I'm sharing today kind of threw a wrench in that. Hopefully, we can get one or two more episodes out, but it may also be our last episodes. Kind of hate that. You try to remain hopeful in situations like this, but, hope is a hard thing to hold on to. So, as the title says, I'm going to be homeless soon. Um, my roommate gave me a place to stay for 18 months, and that 18 months have passed. And I haven't accomplished what I intended to, so I could try to get money for myself, so I could take care of myself. I definitely worked my ass off to get that, but and I sorry, I'm just having trouble saying this. I don't even really want to be on this channel talking about this, but I think it's important that I at least let my fans know what's going on. You're going to see less videos from this channel. My current plans right now is to try to check into a shelter. There are a couple of options with that. I don't know how successful I'll be. Try. I have a backup plan, though, that if the shelters don't work, I'm going to make use of. For those who don't know, it's kind of like a website you go to and you ask people if you can crash on their couch for a few days. And that's a good backup option, but the only problem with that is it means that I have to walk from one location to the next, which also means that I'm sleeping on the streets or maybe in the woods or something. I don't know quite yet, but I'm trying to backup plan in case that doesn't work. It is my goal to get myself out of being homeless. In fact, 18 months ago, I was in this situation with my mother. She was on the verge of throwing me out. She has done before. She has actually kicked me out, usually because we get into an argument with each other. And I try not to get into arguments with her, but once she gets started, there's no stopping her. Any of those arguments have ended with her kicking me out. And the only reason why I stayed with her is that I had to grovel to stay. And that's not a great environment to be in. Don't get me wrong, I love my mother, but it's just not a good environment. I'm hopeful that I'll get into a shelter, and if not, surfing, and I've been kind of preparing myself for being on the streets. It may not be all that bad. Good, but it's not going to be that bad. I've been doing all the research I can, looking at all of the life hacks and all of the things that I can do. And with my book coming out at the end of this month, I'm hoping that readers will want to buy the book because it'll help them make characters. Someone asked my channel, the Zero Cool 85, asked me if I'm doing okay. To know. I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be positive. As Douglas Adams says, don't panic. Um, but, you know, at the same time, I am panicking. But, you know, I've got to remain hopeful. I do have a friend who says that there's a good chance that maybe at the beginning of next year they can take me in. That I've got to remain for 6 to 8 months on my own. But sooner they would, but they can't. So, actually today I actually went and bought myself a tent for the possibility of being homeless if I don't get into a shelter. I got this on Craigslist. And, you know, I've done a lot of research on things on how to survive. And the one thing I keep seeing a lot is like 3 season or 4 season or all seasons. I'm quite certain this is a 1 season. This was designed to keep mosquitoes out. That's all it was designed to do. I mean, it has a mesh all around it. So, I mean, it's better than nothing because I didn't even have a tent. So I have this. And a friend of mine said she's going to send me a backpack that I can carry all my stuff in. So I actually am going to get Zero is wishing to have jumped into the stream with me. Zero, if you contact me on Twitter, add me on there, ggmad_cat. I can send you a DM and you can go ahead and jump on with me. But I'm not going to be on too much longer. You know, I only want to make an announcement. So probably by the time you do all of that, the stream will be over, but you can try. I do have an Amazon wish list, and I'm going to keep that a little bit private right now. Because if I get into a shelter, and I've researched this, you know, there's one that's in Montgomery County, and there's one in Philadelphia. Or I can try going to the other. And it's basically a center. You go there, and they try to figure out what shelter is best for you. And just like emergency shelters, some have options of staying up to a year. So maybe I get lucky, and maybe I get into a shelter that can house me for a little bit of time. So then that way the friend that I have can take me yeah, I mean, apparently Zero Cool already follows me on Twitter and I follow him. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get him. I said I would, so, you know, let me load that up. So, I mean, I have options. I'm not without options. Sorry, my computer is like very, very slow trying to load up Twitter while also doing live streaming. And it's not just the Twitter website, I use TweetDeck. So let me get this out to him. I assume it's a him. Assuming gender, but you know. I do plan on still doing videos on YouTube. Because I will actually have a laptop. And hold on. Sent that to him. Okay. So I do have a laptop, and you'd be surprised. A lot of homeless people have laptops. All the research I can easily spend time in a library, do lots of research. That'll make me happy. but I'm also going to have my track phone activated. This was given to me last year for my birthday. Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you. Finally, I've been following you for a short bit on Twitter. I saw your notification pop up, and I just thought, well, I can't immediately donate to your Patreon, which sucks because my job isn't all that great. I just wanted to share with you that I understand what you're going through.
Oh, okay.
I've been at my current residence now for about 12 years, but long before that, I rented from my parents' house, and you know, it gets to the point, Matt. It gets to the point, Kat, where kids and and their parents, we get along great when we're farther apart for a certain amount of time.
Yes.
So in my town in Davenport, Iowa, I did live out of the local homeless shelter for about 1.5 years. And it sucks. And I'm not going to lie to you. But the best part is, and there is an upside to this, and I'm hoping that whoever sees this in the future understands that what I'm saying, I have to say because I feel you need to hear this. You are not without hope. You've got people that are going to back you up, and you are going to, even if it's 1 year from now, I want to be contacted. I'm hoping less than 1 year from now, you're going to say, cool, Zero Cool, come on up. I want to talk to you. I want you to know that you are not without friends. You are not without people who care about you, even if you've never met us face to face. And you will get what you need to get done. This is just a minor setback. And I don't want, and for anybody out there that might see this, that may be facing the same thing or has faced the same thing, do me a favor if you see this, leave a positive note for our host here. Leave good vibes for our host, because I've been there and nobody cared. I had to literally crawl back from the wreckage because I screwed up. I couldn't get along with people, but, you know, that was me. But I want people that see this to know that you were never genuinely alone. You may think you are alone, but you are not alone. That's the wonderful thing about Twitter and the internet and all forms of social media is you're going to find people out there who may not know you, and you may never see them face to face, but we are there to tell you, yes, we are there, and you can get through this. We will back you up. You know, even if we can't give a Patreon, we need to give a kind word and say, hey, if nothing else, we are with you in spirit.
Well, I definitely have hope, and I have a lot of determination with my book coming out. And one way I look at it is I'm going to have a lot of time to market my book. I'm trying to find the silver lining in. But as far as feeling alone, I really don't feel alone in this situation. Not directly. Because like I said, I have a friend who wants to put me up next year. I just got to rough this out for 6 to 8 months. I've got all of my followers on YouTube. I mean, even when my account was suspended for 90 days, I still maintained, which I was amazed by. Of course, I have Twitter, I have Facebook, and a lot of people there support me, and still make videos. Maybe kind of shift my focus a while to make it more like survival videos, surviving while being homeless, surviving while being in a homeless shelter. Those kind of videos out there already about, you know, of everyday items for, you know, all of that. So I think, especially being in the men's movement, seeing the homeless problem right up front. I mean, it's not something I'd want to be in, but if I'm going to be in it, make the most of it. So kind of the mentality I'm having right now, it's like, you know what, this situation sucks, but what can we get out of it? Positive things can we get from it? So.
And that's the best mentality to have. I know that for me, when I was in that situation, I didn't think as clearly as you did. I was angry, and I really should have realized it was my own fault. But I think that you are definitely leading by action as opposed to words more so, because you're basically saying, hey, this is what it is, this is what it could be, but this is what it's going to be. And I think that the fact you've already thought, you know, maybe I should make survival videos, or maybe I should make a video about this. Keep doing that, because you know, we all will run across people that may not have your determination. And honestly, Kat, I think go for it, dude. Just do it. 6 to 8 months. That's, you know, for some people out there that may be listening to this in the future, that's a long time. But, you know, 6 to 8 months is going to be here and gone, and Mad Cat's going to be back at full force. And I want your book to do well, so please keep people updated on that, because, you know, there are very few good things, it seems to me, to read in this world, because everything seems to be written, said, and done. So it's good to have a local author, since you and I are not in the same locality, obviously, but a local author, because that was what you would be called, getting out there and getting some print made. So,
well, I get term is an indie author.
Indie author. Thank you. You are, well, you were local to us because you're on Twitter. You're local to Twitter for us, the people that follow.
And, you know, I'm very excited actually for my book, because I've been noticing a recent trend within the writing world where people are kind of moving away from, well, some of the bigger names are moving away from actually writing stories and doing workshops how to write better. But many of these workshops are just like 90-minute infomercials, like, hey, I have this really great thing, spend $500 and you can get it. Just I fucking hate when people do that. So, I mean, yeah, you have to buy my book, but at least actual writing help book. It will help people become better writers, to write better characters.
Right. Yeah, you thought about doing that in addition, giving a little supplemental material, not specifically for your book, but it's like what you just expressed, that workshops these days are fading, and it's 90-minute long infomercials of baloney.
Yes.
You think about doing that?
Actually, yes, I did think about doing that. Yeah, last year around this time, I got the idea of doing online courses. There was one that I really wanted to do that would teach people how to use taking to the 21st century. And basically, it was to teach people how to use their own wiki on their computer, like a Wikipedia that's just specific for your own computer. It's not hard to set up, but, you know, it can be a bit in depth. And I actually wrote an entire script for it. It was like 60 videos long. Didn't do it is because my computer was not powerful enough to render all of the videos I needed to the quality that it needed to be. If I had a better computer, I could have done it. And I had more than enough ideas of courses I could teach online. So
I think when the time comes, you should. I think what America needs right now is very fresh perspectives from the ground up. Now, I'm probably considerably older than you. I'm in my early 40s, to say the least. And I can tell you that it seems that we don't have enough fresh perspective in regards to writing, storytelling, hands-on experience, personal experience, and perspectives. And that's something that's sorely lacking, because it seems like everybody just wants to do the old cookie cutter 90-minute info. And so I think that, in my humble opinion, I hope you go for that.
Well, I definitely agree with you on that. And it's something that I see from a lot of, because one of the things I do to those who accept it is I mentor other writers to help them become a published author. And I tell them right up front, this could take years to do, because you've got to basically teaches you a very old style. They say, read what other authors have done. Well, those authors relied on what authors did before them and before them and before them. And in today's world, it just does not work. Like, for instance, if you look at a lot of novels written in the 18 and 1900s, we're talking walls of text. Like a single page could have 2 to 3 paragraphs. Fine back then, because you had the whole book that you could look at. On an e-reader, depending on the text size, a whole paragraph like that could take 2 to 3 pages to learn to break up your paragraphs for an e-reader. No one teaches that.
That would be something that if nobody teaches that, be the first. I remember, I used to draw a lot, and then I pretty much shattered my wrist, so I can't do it anymore. And everybody was like, oh, you've got to teach me how to draw the way you do it. And I said, can you draw a stick figure? They're like, yeah. I said, start from there. And they're like, what? And I said, don't worry about how I draw. Don't worry about what Jack Kirby's art is or any, Michelangelo. Everybody starts with the stick figure. And what I ended up getting from that, Mad Cat, was I irritated a few people because they didn't really know how to take it, but what they did take away from it in the long run was to be themselves and to be original, which is what you're doing. And that's sorely needed in the writing world today. We need somebody
I agree with you.
to be fresh. It goes back to that freshness. We don't have it. I'm hoping you bring it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I have seen that in the writing community, especially with beginning writers. They'll be like, I want to be the next J.K. Rowling. And I'm like, J.K. Rowling wasn't even trying to be the next J.K. Rowling. She was desperately writing books so she could pay her rent and electricity, to do anything, world-changing. She just wanted to write a good story. And that's what you need to do. Be the next you. I'm Chris Voti, and I want to be the next Chris Voti. I want to be the only Chris Voti. I want to have my take on things. But at the same time, I do want to teach. I love to teach other people. But, it's like the saying goes. You can lead a horse to water. You can shove their head into water, but you still can't make them drink.
That's one of the things that I think is why we don't have any freshness, because everybody wants to be. I told my daughter this before she decided to go into the Air Force. She's like, oh, I want to go out and make money and do all this other stuff. I'm like, all right, that's well and good, but how are you going to pay your rent? And so she's going in the Air Force in September. And what I told her, in the medics field, thankfully. So what she decided to do when she was about 17 is start taking nursing classes and getting hands-on experience. She didn't know she was going to the Air Force. But I told her, you need to be the best you that you can be. Don't worry about what Bill Gates is doing. Don't worry about what Steve Jobs has done. Don't worry about, and I named off all these people that are millionaires, multimillionaires, or famous or legendary rock stars or writers like J.K. Rowling, Stephen King. That's the mentality that people seem to need to get rid of is, oh, I want to be the next song. So no, you got to be the best you that you can be. And you'd be surprised how many people are going to be thankful that you're the best you that you can be. So,
well, my own horn, but a few people have told me that they're happy that I do what I do.
Good.
Whether it's my writing student and I'm sort of name dropping here, but Hannah Wallen, she was so happy when I started doing my YouTube channel, saying that, yeah, you have a unique perspective that needs to be talked about. So.
And to that, I guess you're the living example of that. You are a living example for people in the future that see this video that, yes, you're going through this irritation right now, because that's what it is. It's an irritation. It's not a be-all, end-all thing. It's a bump in the road, but you have succeeded in the past. You're going to succeed in the future, and you're being the best you that you can be. And people that are listening to my voice, take that away from this situation and always be the best you that you can be, because that's all there is. So, Mad Cat, I'm going to bow out of here, and I just want to say thank you very much. It was a genuine pleasure and honor to speak with you for the first time ever. I've been following you for a while on Twitter, and I'm not going to say I expect great things from you. I expect to hear from you as soon as humanly possible, being the best you that you can be, and of continuing to lead by example, because that's what you've been doing, and that's what we need.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And if you ever run across me again, you can call me Dade Murphy. That's my name, Dade Murphy, and you already know my Twitter handle. So take care of yourself, Mad Cat, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Oh, I'll definitely keep this channel up to date. I'll definitely keep my Twitter up to date because this automatically posts on Twitter. So, you know, if you want to know what's happening to me, just take a look at my Twitter. I will try to get as many videos out as humanly possible. Like I said, I'm going to get my track phone turned back on and use part of my Patreon to keep this running. And this can do videos on YouTube. So as I have this going, I can still make videos. So,
all right. Well, good luck to you, brother. I hope to hear from you soon. Take care of yourself.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So a few comments from the chat here. Warped Reflection tells me to contact Sevvie, S-E-V-V-I-E. I'll go ahead and check her out. And Polaris lets me know that I look like a frog. I know, my hair is all jumbled. I'm actually going to shave this off again because if I'm going to be out and about, I'm going to... yeah, it'd be better if this was shorter. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of research on this. One of the things I do know is that, like, you do have to be worried about theft in homeless shelters. So I'm going to not keep things in my wallet, but I have a sweater jacket, and I'm going to cut into the seam on my and keep my most important things in there, like my driver's license, money, anything else that can be stuffed in there, USB drive. Now, my roommate has said that he will allow me to keep my stuff here. Because, I mean, I have my computer. As crappy as this thing is, I still want it. My own hands, and upgraded it throughout the years. So, I mean, I'm still happy to have this, even though it's a piece of crap. Like today's standards, it's a piece of crap. But, you know, I can keep this. I can keep my books, some of my most other things that I can't take with me. Because, I mean, it's like anything in life, you've got to pack light. So, thank you, Polaris. I'm like not happy that you called me a frog, but I'm happy that you've shared this. I'm just kidding about the frog thing. I know I look like a mess, but you know, I've just been more focused on getting my book out and getting prepared for this. So, you know, it's like Dave just said on here. Be the best you that you can be, and this isn't just some of that 90s positivity movement bullshit. It's an actual thing. I mean, you've got, and that's what I'm trying to do is I am a very intelligent, very creative individual, and that if I could get a few things in line in my life, in place, I know I will excel. I have no doubt about that. But, you know, it's just this situation with my disability really threw a wrench into all of my plans. For that, I'd probably be in a very good position right now, in a position to where I can help others. I haven't been in contact with Hannah, but she's in Ohio and I'm in Philadelphia. I do know that she has a very compact place to live. I mean, it's comfortable for her and her family, but I wouldn't presume to ask to stay at her place. Well, you know, I mean, if she offered, I probably wouldn't say no, but I don't want to, like, pressure her or, you know, give her any sort of guilt trip for that, because I mean, she's great all on her own. I mean, and I don't want to do that to anyone. You know, I don't want to ask anyone to crash at their place. I mean, technically that's what couch surfing is, but, you know, if someone says no, someone says no. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, we're all in our own little scrapes, all have our own problems that we have to deal with. So only those who can actually do something, you know, if they offer, I'll probably say yes. Spend the next year somewhere else while I wait for my friend who can take me in. But you know what? You've got to make the best of what you've got. Yeah, staying in a shelter is going to suck. But, you know, staying on the street is going to suck just as much. But it's an opportunity in disguise. And that's just like my hopeful side talking. Like, it better be worth it. So I guess I'm going to kind of ramble on here. I'd rather not say who my friend is at this time. I don't want to jinx it, but at the same time, how comfortable they are with me talking about them in this capacity. It's someone I have known for a very long time. I will say that. And they are aware of activism. This YouTube channel, things that I do. In fact, I've kind of inspired them to be more proactive. But I will say that it's a good friend. And I'll just kind of leave it at that for right now. But as I find out more and more, I'll let you know more and more. But for right now, I'm just kind of like, it's a possibility, and I kind of want to not jinx it, if that makes any sense. So anyways, wow, 7 viewers. Usually don't get that for, you know, just a random channel, random show. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that, you know, news of me being homeless does get attention. I'm going to rearrange my Patreon to now correspond to this, but I am going to most likely put my Amazon wish list on there. My Amazon wish list mostly has survival related stuff, socks and underwear, obviously, because even being homeless, you still need that stuff. But, you know, things like water purification tablets, life straws, tent, a better tent than the one I have, sleeping bags, cookware, you know, things like that that can help me survive if I do have to live on the streets or wilderness. I'm confident that I can do it, but you know, the other great thing is if I have internet access, I have a laptop, I can still research things. So if I need to learn how to do something, I easily can. 6 to 8 months, that's how long I have to wait. So, I mean, it's like Dave said, it's a bump in the road. Let's see. Ichabod. He's asking, what's going on now? I'm basically, I'm in Pennsylvania. But basically, my time here is up, so I have to find another place to live, shelter, most likely living on the streets. Not a big thing. Okay, it is a big thing, but I'm trying to be proactive. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to get everything I can to rough it out. So, go ahead and give this a close. I thank you all for coming out today. I thank Dave for jumping on and giving me his positive words. Like I said, I'm going to be turning my track phone back on. This has GPS. It's basically a smartphone. So as long as I can keep this charged, and I can do videos on YouTube still. Be altered though. They're going to be more of updating of my situation, talking about maybe some survival stuff, or what it's like being in a shelter. So it's a unique opportunity, especially for someone who's big in the men's movement. I can talk about what it's like to be a man in this situation. For those who follow me on Facebook or even my website, I will be making updates there as well. So, you know, this isn't goodbye. This is just saying, hey, things are going to change a little bit, but hopefully it won't be long. The best way to support me, if you want to, I will reorganize this. So we'll have my accounts. It's going to be paypal.me/madcatprime. Of course, I have my Patreon, and I'm up to $50 right now. And oh my God, is that a godsend? I mean, $50 might not sound a lot, but when you're homeless, that's going to be like $5 million, honestly. I mean, there's not a lot you can do with it, but there's something you can do with it. Or my Amazon wish list. There are locker locations you can send those to, and I've made sure everything on my list is somewhere you can send it to a locker. So just send me an email and I will, or a tweet or whatever, and I can go to the locker and pick it up. Ichabod, I'm going to talk to you on Skype. He has let me know that they have a spare room in their house in Kansas. So to you individually, I thank you for that. Even if it doesn't pan out, I still thank you for that. I'm going to get going now, or else I'm just going to ramble, and no one really likes that. Look, I'm trying to remain positive in this situation. That's the best thing one can do. Just try to be proactive. So anyways, that's going to do it for me. This is Mad Cat signing out.